My name is Stephanie Kusie. I'm the Member of Parliament for Calgary-Midnapore, and I'm a Conservative MP. I decided to run for political office because I had grown up in my community prior to being a Member of Parliament. I was a diplomat with Global Affairs Canada, and I had a couple of incidents where I had decided that I wanted to become the message writer instead of the messenger. When I was chargé d'affaires for Canada in El Salvador, we were completing another round of what was then the C4 trade negotiations. The ambassador was out of the country, and I was told that I had to go and present the next round of trade negotiations. So I went to the secure room, got the secure facts, prepared myself, and I went to go and meet the Minister of Trade from El Salvador at the time, and she just took the documents out of my hand and said, "You tell your government we will get back to them in 2 weeks," in Spanish, of course she said this. And it was just a pivotal moment for me where I decided I wanted one day to be holding the pen and not just the person delivering the message. And when my predecessor, Jason Kenney, stepped down in July of 2016, my husband and I were at home, I think in bed watching the news, and he turned to me and he said, "You have to do it." And I said, "I know," and we were off to the races. I would say my proudest accomplishment was serving as shadow minister for transport during the pandemic and acting as a voice for the aviation sector. I genuinely feel that this is a sector that was left behind by the current federal government, and I really felt as though I was their main advocate during this difficult time for them. I had a number of airline workers, everything from pilots to flight attendants to baggage handlers, who would contact me and thank me for the advocacy that I was providing in an effort to help keep both them and their sectors afloat in what was a very difficult time for them. What was probably the most moving moment is many of them sent me their insignia, so their passes, their scars, their wings, and my team and I created a shadow box that we delivered to the Minister of Transport at the time in an effort to demonstrate to him the distress of what the workers in this sector were going through. So I will always have a close relationship with the airline sector and a place in my heart for those who serve in it. The people in my constituency motivate me to go to work every day. I'm very fortunate to have been raised in the constituency that I represent. I recognize what an incredible standard of living our community and our society has provided for the citizens that live there. And as such, I'm very interested in maintaining a community and economy that can sustain that standard of living. Something that I learned about politics that I learned only after I was elected as a federal member of parliament is just how much of politics is internal to your own party and to your own movement. I sincerely thought that once you were a member of the team that there was, although perhaps differing opinions, significant harmony, and you really find that sometimes you have to work very hard to have your voice heard even within your own movement and your own party, and bring your point of view and the point of your constituents to the bigger picture of the party tent. So I was not prepared for that. A time that I recall where I worked across party lines in an effort to achieve something significant was the passing of C-11, the disability bill. In this current environment, it's probably pretty partisan, but I feel foreign interference is a significant risk to our democracy. I'm not saying this simply because it's something that is seizing the House of Commons and several of the committees presently. This was something that I identified back in 2018 when I was Shadow Minister for Democratic Institutions. I was very concerned about it at that time. I actually put a working group together with a report that I submitted to the Leader's Office. I wasn't confident at the time that the current government was doing everything that they could in an effort to stop foreign interference, and I feel somewhat vindicated with the recent activities that my hunches and the interlocuting I did with both experts and experts and others was accurate, that there were threats, there were breaches, these did occur, and I still believe we are at risk today of having foreign interference within our electoral processes. What gives me hope for the future generation is I am someone that genuinely believes in the innovation of humanity, in the sense that I believe that human nature, humanity is always looking forward into the future to solve problems, and I really believe that there is no problem that peoplekind cannot overcome. I'm a very big believer in that, just the ingenuity of the world. And then, of course, I'd have to say my son. So I'm sure many MPs have said their children, but myself as well. I think he's the best guy ever, and I have great belief in his future. That piece of advice would probably be from the Desiderata, which is, and whether or not you are aware, the universe is unfolding as it should. And it's very hard to remember this at all times because politics is filled with significant ups and significant downs. But on balance, it's worthwhile. And I do believe I am making a difference in the lives of people.